Know whether there are any fallback plans, because as it is, the NDP's implementation hinges on.
Good evening, each and everybody. If you are hearing me loud and clear, let just somebody notify me that you are hearing me loud and clear. We can start the discussion about our country. Our country is in a serious crisis, and the only way to save the future of this country is for us to create such dialogues and take part in the decision making of our country. This cannot go without we the citizens participating. So I just want you guys to notify me if you are getting me loud and clear. We can start from the issues that are affecting us right now as a country. And the discussion will be centered on three folds. We will talk about the supplementary budget that has come to the National Assembly today, the minister requesting for additional fee for 2018, and the budget that is before us, the 2019 budget. We will discuss about that, whether it is speaking the language of the Gambian people, whether it is the budget that will move us from this poverty, whether it reflects on the Gambian people. We have to look at that. And the third will be the so-called salary increasement, and that they said they have increased the salary to 50% across board, whether it is necessary, and who are the people who should benefit, whether the salary increasement has any impact on the low earning, the working class of the country. This is the issues that I would like us to discuss. And without taking much of your time, I will just take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you. During my last visit to Ghana, I have seen your support, your prayers, and it means so much to me, and I appreciate your support, because all what I am doing, I can do it alone without you people. But because of your support and your motivation, keep me moving, and whatever I'm doing, I definitely know that you people are behind me, and this gives me the courage, the determination to move forward. Maybe the opportunity that I have, you guys don't have it, but you can do better than I am doing. But because of the distance, some of you are in the diaspora, maybe some are in the Gambia, but because of the time frame, they could not. But since I have the time, I'm doing it. But this cannot be successful without you, the people who are supporting me, giving me courage. Some even went to that extent, giving me support every time, taking their time calling me, giving me the courage. Just keep me moving, and I appreciate it. And I cannot start this program because I don't have the time to thank you people. But I will tell you, I really appreciate your support, and my prayers are with you all the time. I really appreciate what you people are doing, and I'm grateful to you people, and I can well assure you that this will continue. Nothing can distract me from what I am doing. We have this country that we have to save the future of this country. For 53 years, this country claimed to be independent, but it's just independent by the name, but we are never independent in the real sense, since the citizens cannot determine or has no say in the financial activities of their country, has no say. Everything is just put on papers, and they will tell you just the National Assembly to approve it. Only few individuals will sit on behalf of 1.9 million population and decide on what they should be governed, and it will be a law, and we must all adhere to that law. I see that that's not an independent. That's not why we call for independence. The country belongs to the citizens. So, and this trend has to change, and it can be only changed by us. But without taking more time, I said once again, I thank you all. First of all, we will start with the Minister of Finance, Amadou Sanneh. Mamburenjai has came to the National Assembly today with a bill for additional payment for the National Assembly to complete their 2018 budget. If they said a supplementary appropriation bill, maybe people might not understand it in other way around, but I will make it very simple so that we can all understand this. What Mr. Mambure is trying to say that the budget that we approved for the National Assembly in 2018, the $19 billion, which $9 billion was collected from us, we the people, taxpayers' money, and the other $10 billion, they went and looked for a loan and budget support to complete. He is telling us that actually the government has exhausted that money and they need again another $1 billion, $128,337,519.77 Bututs. This is what Mr. Mambure is requesting from our National Assembly members today, that the government has exhausted the 2018 budget and they need another $1.2 billion for them to complete the 3 weeks that they have right now. So this is the budget, this is the bill that was tabled before the National Assembly today. Mambure Njai came to the parliament with a supplementary appropriation bill requesting for $1.2 billion from our National Assembly members so that they can complete the 2018 the budget for 2018, telling us that they have exhausted the $19 billion that we have approved for them to use for 2018. And during his explanation why this is necessary, he is telling us that the president's travels and other services, they have not paid for it whilst they have used the service, and now they are trying to pay it. And during his explanation, I could understand that he is telling us that even the president traveled to China, was not paid, and they need money to pay this service when he traveled to China. But these are the very people who stood before us telling us that the money that was sent to FAB Foundation, the money was meant for the president's travel because China was ready to sponsor his travel. So the money was purposely for that. But the same people come again, they are requesting $1.2 billion from our National Assembly members. And in the explanation of the bill, they are telling us that that will pay for the president's travel to China. So you see the contradiction here. So who are they fooling here? But I will take justice so that we can all hear from the minister. I will play the audio when he was explaining the bill itself, why the bill is necessary. So I think it is now time for we the Gambian people to take the ownership of this country. We need a serious mass movement to show the people that we are not a subject to them. We are not just a mere subject whereby they will just use us for anything they feel like they will do, and we will accept it as a citizens. When the very constitution of this country is telling us that there is no other responsibility a government can do only to promote the general welfare of these citizens. But you look at our budget from 2018 up to today, where is the welfare of the citizens? Where is it promoting the welfare of the citizens? The government, when they came in, they said their target is to reduce the poverty in this country. But you look at from 2018, since they take on power up to now, where is the policies and the direction? That will tell you that this is the direction of the government in terms of the poverty level in this country. No, they are not planning for it. But what did they come up? They come with a salary increasement, cross-board. People earning, a watchman is earning here $920. So if you said 20% of a salary increasement, you are definitely telling me that the watchman is now moving from $920 to $1,300. $1,300 cannot even afford a bag of rice for you. But you can increase the salary of the president from $170,000 to $255,000. So you are telling us that the rich will continue to be rich and the poor will continue to be poor. Where's your plan to close the poverty gap, the gap between the rich and the poor? But the main essence is for you to enrich yourself. So this is the issues that is confronting us. And the minister, the very minister, when he tabled the bill, because I always want things to be clear, you hear from the minister. I will play you the audio of 5 minutes when he was tabling this bill before the National Assembly members, and what is the reason why they need an additional budget of $1.2 billion for our National Assembly members to approve. And I will send a very big signal to the National Assembly. Tomorrow, if they approve this budget, definitely we the citizens should now take the ownership of this country and go and occupy that National Assembly and speak, let the National Assembly, all of them, they don't deserve to represent us and they have to move from that National Assembly. Let's all the consequences call them that they are not fit to represent us in this National, if that budget is approved from the National Assembly. But not wasting much of your time, I will just play you the audio, then we can continue from there. You hear from Mambure Njai himself.
Support from donors, particularly these loans. So if the loans are not forthcoming, does that mean that the NDP, as you have indicated, I am stepping in for the National Assembly member for Ban.
Appropriation Bill 2018 for consideration and approval by the National Assembly. The legal requirement for the presentation of the supplementary appropriation (SAP) is provided for under Part 5, Section 30, Paragraph 1 and 2 of the Public Finance Act of 2014. Introduction. The 2018 budget principles were fiscal prudence, consolidation, and ensuring debt sustainability and growth. Its parameters were anchored on target deficit 2% of GDP, equivalent to 900. Appropriation Bill 2018 for consideration and approval by the National Assembly. The legal requirement for the presentation of the supplementary appropriation (SAP) is provided for under Part 5, Section 30, Paragraph 1 and 2 of the Public Finance Act of 2014. Introduction. The 2018 budget principles were fiscal prudence, consolidation, and ensuring debt sustainability and growth. Its parameters were anchored on target deficit 2% of GDP, equivalent to 922 million Gambian Dalasis, and a net domestic borrowing NDP of 1.09% of GDP, equivalent to 570.7 million Dalasis. Fiscal deficit is expected to be around 3% of GDP, rebased by end December 2018, including the proposed supplementary appropriation bill of Gambian Dalasis 1 billion Dalasis, provided we receive the anticipated budget support from the EU and France, i.e. 1.2 billion Gambian Dalasis by end of this year. This performance is not by any measure a mean performance due to unavoidably macroeconomic fiscal challenges in the course of implementation of the 2018 budget. The government of the Gambia had to respond to outbreak of foot and mouth diseases, the demand from the teachers and nurses, shortage of medicine at the hospitals, and rising fuel prices, which resulted to expansionary fiscal pressure, warranting accommodation for unplanned expenditure in the course of 2018 fiscal year. Despite these challenging developments, the macro fiscal fundamentals remain strong. However, certain key fiscal pressures areas require attention in order to maintain this trend, and they are highlighted below. 1. Personal emoluments. Personal emoluments registered an increment of 27% of the result of basic car and transport allowances, and this amounted to 203.69 million Gambian Dalasis. The establishment of new agencies, the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, the Commission of Inquiries into Financial Dealings of the former President, the Constitutional Review Commission, the Faraba Banta Commission, and the Social Security Panel of Investigation, which had no budgetary provisions or were seriously under-budgeted, warranting the pre-financing of the activities through virements from other existing line items, registering a shortfall of $236.14 million. It is also worthwhile to note that some of these shortfalls were as a result of additional demands from the National Assembly. contribution to international organizations. The readmission of the Gambia back to the fold of the international community has corresponding financial obligations, in particular, area settlement to enable the Gambia to participate fully and play its role in the global community of trade, investment, and aid agenda. This requires additional expenditure of Gambian Dalasis, $226.36 million. Foreign policy. The maintenance expenditure towards foreign mission has increased due to opening and maintenance of foreign missions, including the deployment of staff. This led to expenditure commitments in the movement of staff, other related operational activities, and the depreciation of the Gambian Dalasis against major foreign currencies. This required an amount of 65.9 million Gambian Dalasis. Transfers and subsidies. The government of the Gambia provides for electricity, water, farm inputs, and agricultural commodities through subsidies and transfers to support operations of state-owned enterprises, in particular, the Gambia Food Processing and Marketing Corporation, GGC, and NAWEC, amounting to $402.6 million. The findings of this supplementary expenditure, the financing of this supplementary expenditure will be through domestic borrowing. In conclusion, thus I submit to this National Assembly for consideration a supplementary appropriation bill 2018 in the sum of $1,128,337,519.77 Bututs. Honorable Speaker, a detail of the description of these items is attached to this note. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. We all had it together. This is what the Minister for Finance tabled before the National Assembly members today, requesting for another $1.2 billion to be approved by the National Assembly to complete their 2018 budget, which we approved $19 billion prior to this one. But they are asking for another additional $1.2 billion so that they can complete the 3 weeks that is left for the 2018. And according to his explanation, there are some debts and service that they have to do, and he said it has to do with the lack of medicine in our hospitals, which they are not even doing anything about it. Just yesterday I was at the hospital, and the minister was before us at the National Assembly. They were asking him whether he have this MRI machines and the scanning machines. He said actually 3 are there, but they are no more working right now. And he was asked by the MP whether it has reflected in the present budget so that they can purchase another one for the MRI. She said she don't know, but she would look into the budget whether it was captured in the present budget for them to purchase a new one. That shows you how unserious they are, because you are telling us that there are 3 machines that were in the hospital for the MRI machines and the other operation machines, but they are not working. And you were asked at the National Assembly whether you have put that into the budget so that they can purchase a new one, and you are responding that you don't know unless you go back. That mean that you are not doing your homework, you are not interested of what you have put in the budget, health budget, and we have seen that billions of dollars has been approved for the health, but you are even telling us that you don't know whether the MRI machine is there. So these are issues that you shows that our government, these people are not serious. It is just totally, you cannot understand. So he's telling that because of the increasements, because of the teachers' demand, we can all adhere to that. There was a teachers' strike asking for a maximum salary increase, and according to him, because of the request, because of the teachers' demand, and he said because of the Faraba Commission too, which was not budgeted for, and they are there. But there are budget that are approved for a central service, and this budget that normally they put it so that if there is any emergency. But if you look at even what they are requesting, if you look at the beneficiary of this $1.2 million, you will see already that the Office of the President is requesting for $60 billion, $258,788.95 Bututs. This is what the Office of the President is requesting when the budget is approved. This $1.2 billion is approved. The Office of the President will benefit $60 million. $60 million, that's what the Office of the President will benefit, $256,788. And through the explanation, what we get to understand is that this has to do with his travels and so many things that the Office of the President has engaged in. You go to the National Assembly itself, they said if this budget is approved, the National Assembly is going to benefit $120 million from the budget. If it is, the Judiciary Service will benefit $4 million, $600,000. The National Audit Office is going to benefit $14 billion, $888,000. The Ministry of Defense will going to benefit $54 million. That's they're going to. Ministry of Interior is going to benefit $9 million, $258. You go to Ministry of Foreign Affairs, $94 million. That's the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. That's what they're going to benefit there. Ministry of Economics, which sometimes I tend to question this ministry. What is the Ministry of Economic doing apart from approving our budget, and what are the services they normally provide apart from paying their staffs and other things, unless if you talk about their travel. But why all the time when you look at our budget, the Ministry of Finance is fully funded? You will hear $2,300,000. I cannot just get it. They are telling the Minister of Finance going to benefit, if it is approved, $59 billion. Why $59 billion? 488. Central Service, they said they're going to benefit $402 billion. $2 million from this, if it is approved. Ministry of Agro, $7 billion. Trade, they said $4 million. Education, they said $173 billion. Health, $57 billion. You look at the Ministry of Environment, $178 billion. So the total is going up to $1,128,000. So this is the question, what we want to know. The issue is not about what they claim here, it's not what they're going to use this supplementary budget for. This government was asked to take a loan of almost $90 million after 2018 budget. When Amadou Sanneh was the Minister of Finance, Amadou Sanneh said to be financially disciplined, he's not going to use all the $90 million that is allocated for them. They can take a loan up to $90 million. So Amadou Sanneh said he's used up to $30 million. $30 million. He said that's where they're going to stop. Then the other ones, they will see how best they can manage. Because if they don't do that, maybe next time they will be like, if they have exhausted this one, maybe next year they will not have any budget support. And IMF and the other support, those who are supporting them, are monitoring the situation. When the new minister come, he decided, actually it's million, but the total is $1.2 million. That's the billion dollars. That's what they are requesting. But if you distribute it to the ministry, there is million that they're going to have. But the total amount that they are requesting is $1.2 billion. It's not million, but $1 billion. That's what they are requesting right now. So this is the issue. So when this Mambure Njai came, Mr. Njai just decided to use the whole money. So now, if they fail to pay this one, it's going to carry to the next year budget. So they have to pay this loan so that next year they can request for another budgetary support. So now they want to tax it to the taxpayers instead of them cutting their budget. Because if you look at the Office of the President, $200 million is added to the President's budget compared to last year's budget. And you look at the various ministries, the same thing. Why can't they cut those ones and pay this? But they want to pay it to the taxpayer. They want us for it to come from the consolidated fund of the taxpayers' money. So that shows you how unserious these people are and how they look at us as the citizens. But the bill was tabled before the National Assembly, and the National Assembly were not even ready to entertain with the minister. And they told him that definitely we're going to discuss this to our committee level, and the matter was transferred to the FPAC, that's the Public Enterprise Committee, for them to discuss about the matter. Then tomorrow they will report to the National Assembly, the whole House, for them to devote whether they will approve the budget or they will disapprove it, or they will just throw it to the dustbin. But Tom, I believe that it doesn't deserve to be discussed. It has to be thrown to the dustbin. And I think that's exactly what the National Assembly members will do. And if failure for them to do that, we will take the bull by its horn. Definitely, we the citizens, we will mobilize ourselves and occupy this National Assembly. But moving from there, you come to this year's budget. You will find out that there's a serious increasement when it's come to the budget compared to last year's budget. Last year's budget, the Office of the President was earning $500 million upwards. But this year, through the budget, we found out that the President's budget has increased to $700 million. Why? Because they said there's a salary increasement, and that salary increasement reflect on the increasement of the budget on the various ministry. And from there, we have found out that out of the 6 advisors that the president have, he have had another 2 or 3 advisors to his department. They call them special advisors. Those special advisors are earning nothing less than $175,000 monthly. You cannot just imagine that, and you say that this is a country that you have inherited, a country with a bad debt. But your solution is not to stabilize our economy, but you are more interested in enriching yourself. And this is the very president who told us that he will donate 10% of his salary to the national development, believing that the government cannot sustain it. But within a year or within 6 months, the same president now want to increase his own salary. Almost 50% of his salary has to be increased. When this president, anything that he has to do has to be funded by the state. The president will not pay any medical bill. The president's transportation is paid by the states, the taxpayers' money. The president has nothing to do with this, but the president is interested to increase his salary. Moving from there, he went again and appointed another 2 different advisors, different from the 6 advisors that we are paying. And are we going to sit as citizens and look at these people, put the country into ransom? Or are we ready to take the ownership of this country? This is the challenge that we have now. There is no plan in this 2019 budget that shows you that this government has any plan for this country. They didn't care about, because Yahya Jammeh, thank God, during his time here, he have a plan for the poverty reduction. He have a blueprint that they have drafted, and they said they want to reduce the poverty gap, and they have a plan for it. But ask this government, what is their plan in reducing the poverty gap of this country? They didn't even show out a blueprint. And this is the government that, in their manifesto, they said their agendas there is the poverty reduction. That will be their first agenda. But when they go into the office, they have forget about their agenda. What they have promised us as the electorate campaign. But now today they are telling us that they are still following the old books of the former president here. Because this is what has been happening. At the end of the year, before the end of the year, they will come with another supplementary budgets. So this is what Mamburen Njie is doing. That's why he came again with another supplementary budget. For the National Assembly to approve it. And he's not asking for thousands or millions, but he's asking for $1.2 billion. $1.2 billion to be approved by the National Assembly for them to complete 3 weeks of 2018. When they increase their salary, don't they know that definitely this is a problem that we are facing? Why are we increasing our department when we can use that money to pay this loan or this service that we have rendered, the institution have rendered, and they are not paid, they didn't pay for it, but they are not interested in it. They just want to enrich themselves. So this is the issue that we are confronting, and I feel like each of us would call our National Assembly members, because tomorrow this bill will be at the National Assembly, and they should approve it by tomorrow. They should come with a decision. Let us all pick our phones and call our National Assembly members. If they mistake and approve this additional budget for 2018, definitely we will look ahead with them. Definitely we will face them. We will occupy the National Assembly to tell them that they don't deserve to be at that National Assembly, and the only thing they can do is to resign from that National Assembly, because these people are playing with us. So this is the issue that has transpired in the National Assembly today. Mamburen Njie, and I feel it necessary that we should share it and we should talk about this issue so that the citizens will know what actually, because they will tell you that this is a bill, an additional bill, or else they will just make it very nice English, and a layman in the street will not understand. It will just say that, okay, 2018 appropriated bill, and they will just come with it. So you don't understand. But they are telling you that what you have approved for them, they have occupied, they have used that money, they have exhausted the money, and they need an additional approval from the National Assembly so that they can complete 2018 when we have only 2 weeks to go. So this is the issue right now. So unless we confront the government and we tell them that we are ready to take the ownership of this country, and we will not gonna accept anything less, but we want a total representative of our people, and we want anything that you have to speak the language of the citizens so that they will understand. So this is the issue now, and the members are discussing. I left them at the National Assembly at the Public Enterprise Committee level. So they are trying to talk about the issue. I don't know what they will agree on, and tomorrow they will make a decision whether they will approve this budget or not, whether they will not approve it. So this is the issues that I find it very necessary to come here and discuss with you people, so that you will know actually what has been taking place so far in the National Assembly. But since it is a budget session, we have to talk about this. But if you look at the history of this country, since independence, our budget has been, 46% of our budget is been supported by foreign aids. Since 1965, since the first budget of this country, up to today, it is increasing, but it's not declining. And we are the very people who claim that we are independent. But you are independent, but your budget is being determined by foreign aids. They will support you so that they will, that's why they are determined anyhow we're going to move. This is the only way they will direct us, the direction we're going to take, because they have the say in our national budget. So they will have 46% of our budget. But today go to Rwanda. Rwanda, before Paul Kagame will come to Rwanda, their budget was 68% was sponsored outside. But when Paul Kagame came in, he have to change the coin. Now, and you go to Rwanda, their budget, 68% is sponsored by the state itself. And the Gambia have the resources to do that. But why? Because we have no direction. The government has no direction. They are not ready. Just look at the fishing deal that they have signed here. Yesterday it was before the National Assembly members for them to approve it. When we could have used that sea to employ our youth and create employment and create foreign exchange by the virtue of government investing in fishing trawlers. We catch our fish and land them and here and create a fishing center. We export them, we have foreign exchange. But when the minister was asked, he said the government doesn't even have a fishing vessel, a fishing trawler. And he was asked whether in the budget you have put that there so that we can have our own fishing vessels. He said no. But you are ready to sell our sea to other people to come and catch our fish, and they give us just millions and they go and make millions out of it. You look at the agriculture. Compare the budget of agriculture to the Ministry of Defense. Ministry of Defense, combined Ministry of Agriculture, Youth and Sport, and Health, Youth and Sport, you combine them together. The Ministry of Defense is more than 3 departments' salary. Like Gambia is going for a war, or we are buying ammunition so that we can sell, we can prepare for a war. Why do you need $688 million from the Ministry of Defense? And you give $46 million to Ministry of Youth. And you call that you have a development plan. Where's the development plan? Where's the direction of the development? Where's the poverty, the poverty that we are talking about? To close the poverty gap. When you could give $688 million to the Ministry of Defense. Ministry of Defense alone is having $699,057,883. But when you look at the Ministry of Agriculture, you just give them $234 million. The Ministry of Energy, you give them $48 million. The Ministry of Fisheries, you give them $36 million. Science and Technology, you give them $248. If you combine these 4 ministries, it gives you $748 million. Compared to the Ministry of Defense alone, $688 is almost the same. 4 ministries. You combine their budget together. The Ministry of Defense is more than them. This is the development plan of our country. And we want to be just silent about the whole issue and leave these people to do whatever they feel like to do. Just look at how they even present our budget to us. The budget, they don't even consult us, we the citizens. Normally what they do is in May, they will call on the ministries. They call it consultation of ministries. They will go and consult the various ministries. Look at what is their budget line. What do they want for the next financial year. This consultation normally takes 2 weeks. When they consult, then they will draft a budget. Then before the end of the year, by December, they will present it to the National Assembly. And they will tell the National Assembly that within 14 days you should approve this budget. A book, almost 398 pages. You give it to a National Assembly member. You tell him that you have to approve this before 14 days. This National Assembly member is attending a National Assembly. He will be attending sittings. He will be having so many issues. Like today, there are how many bills are before the National Assembly member. And you give him 14 days to look at that document and approve it. He cannot even have a thorough look into the budget. Why can't we change our constitution and say that the budget, you give 3 months to the National Assembly members to look into the budget. And within 3 months, they should approve it. Then within that 3 months, the National Assembly members will consult their consequences. People who elected them. Let everybody put their input in the budget. Let them call their representative and have a national dialogue, consultation, whereby they will sit with their people and discuss about the budget. Those people to put their input there. Then from there, the 1 year, the 1 month, you go and look at it. But a National Assembly member who has no secretary, everything is done by him. You give him a book of 394 pages. And the first week you tell him that you have a consultation meeting or a workshop about the budget study. You go to Tendaba and hire a place for them. And you call an expert, a budget expert from another country to come and lecture them how to scrutinize the budget. The 1 week has gone. 1 week minus from the 14 days. You are left with 7 days. Why can't we change our constitution and say that you should approve? That is what is happening in Rwanda. You go to Kenya, that's what is happening there. Kenya is 6-month consultation. The 3 months is the consultation with the electorates. The ministry will go to the electorates and tell them that we are planning to, the Minister of Finance will go there and tell them we are planning to build a budget. What is your take? What is your recommendation? What do you want to see in the budget? What are the priorities of the country? But no, in the Gambia has only a few individuals, 19 ministers, will go and sit and decide on behalf of 1.9 million population, and they bring it to us and they tell our National Assembly members, you have to approve this. And within 14 days, they will approve it. Just look at the debate. We are following the debate. Even the National Assembly members cannot even scrutinize the budget properly because you don't have the time to look at the document. And now they have approved it. On Friday, the minister will come and present it to us and tell us that this is your 2019 budget. None of us know nothing about the budget. You go to Nyamina, you go to Kauru, you tell them that there was a budget. They don't talk about it. Our newspapers are not talking about it. You go to other countries, when it's budget session, all the newspapers are talking about the budget. All the radio stations are talking about the budget in both languages. But now in the Gambia here, you look at the newspapers. President Barrow this, Lawyer Dabo this, Halifa Sallah this. Nobody is interested to inform the citizens about the budget, which is the lifeblood of the country. How will they know? And you are collecting $12 billion from that tax, those ordinary citizens, because this government target is $26 billion this year. But they say they can only generate $12 billion from the taxpayers' money. So which means we the taxpayers are contributing $12 billion. Then the $13 million, they will go for a budget support, loans, and whatever budget support they want, so that they will meet the demands of the country. Last year, it was $19 million. This year, we are going to $26 million. Next year, we are going to $36 million. So this is the trend that will go up. And this is the very country that is having a debt burden of 130%. And they will just tell you 130%. They will explain it in a way that you will not understand it. What is simply telling you that if today world is if the world, whoever we are owning, requests that they need their money, Gambia will sell all its assets and pay the loan, and we are still left with 30% to pay loans. Combine all our assets and what the Gambia has. If today the world has to request, or the people we are owning has to request that we have to pay them, we will sell whatever we have and give it to them. We still owe 30%. This is what they are telling us. So which means that we are owing more than ourselves. Like if I'm value at $1,000, I go and borrow $1,030. So I will sell myself. Even now, I still owe the person. This is the situation of the country. But every year, our budget is increasing. Why are we not investing in the economic growth of our country? We say that agriculture is the backbone of this country. But look at the budget, what they are putting in the budget for agriculture. When we could use Jakali Pachar, we could use Makati Island for a continuous cultivation of rice. We imported 20,000 metric tons of rice every year in this country, or more than that. And we use $1.9 billion to service those rice so that they can enter in this country. When we grow rice at Jakali Pachar and Makati, we will put $1.9 billion in our accounts, in our budget. We will save that for our budget. Why are we not heading to that direction? Who told us where is their direction towards that? Where is the industries? Why they call Kanifing industrial area? Because the plan was that it's going to be based for industrial purposes. But now look at Kanifing industrial purpose. Which industry can you tell us? Where is the direction of the government? 2 years now, they cannot tell us the direction of this government. They are busy enriching themselves. And we, the citizens, going to sit and look at this government to run the country into ransom. And we claim ourselves that we are sovereign citizens. And if you go to the very constitution of our country, it's telling us that we own the country. We have to determine what the leaders have to do. But are we pushing the government? We are all sitting, folding our hands together for them to decide for us, and we accept it. And we claim that we are independent. We claim that we are sovereign citizens. We are not yet sovereign unless we take the ownership of this country. These people have no direction. They are not even planning anything. Tomato paste, how much do we import in this country? When we have how many tomatoes here? Why can't we empower our humans? Buy their products, buy their produce, create a factory there that will turn them into tomato paste. Sell them and save the money that we are using to import those things to the country. You learn them. You can use our fruits. Make mango juice. Go to Senegal now. You don't dare sell any other juice in their hotels. Homemade juice, that's what you sell in their hotels. We have mango juice. We can make our mangoes into mango juice. Our orange into orange juice. So many fruits here. But at the end of the day, just go to the market and look at how many watermelons are spoiled on the way. We could use that and turn them into products, into juice. But the government has no direction in that. But the same people will tell you that, no, agriculture is the backbone of our country. But what are you investing in agriculture? What is your direction in agriculture? What is your policy in agriculture? Who knows it? If we want to move in the right direction, there should be a national consultation meeting whereby they will invite all the experts. Let us all sit and come and draft a blueprint for this country. That's the time they will say that they are the government of the people. Let them call for a national consultation meeting whereby all the experts will be invited. That was the direction of the coalition. That was the direction. That's why you heard of the think tank. But look, where is the think tank? They have diverted. Do you hear about the think tank? Nobody is talking about it. When they just published it, they said, yes, you have people, they name them. I see the list, I see the Sannehs there, I see the Jadas there, I see so many people there. But where is the think tank? And the idea was that they will create an expert bank whereby they will call on all Gambian people to submit their CVs on the various fields of studies. And they will vet this. And those people will come together and create an expert bank, which will make a blueprint for this coalition government and direct the government on the policies of the various ministries. And the ministry will use that document as its guiding tools toward the transition period. But when they take into the power, they say these people are useless. And they throw it to the dustbin. But that was the first direction of this country. Are we questioning it? Nobody is talking about it. Now the government is just running on his own affairs, on his own direction, trying to enrich themselves, planning for the next election. They are not planning for the life of the Gambian people. When the minister can stand before you, Ministry of Health, and tell you that, yeah, we have 3 machines, scanning machines, but they are no more working. And she was asked whether it reflects in the present budget so that we can budget for it. She said she has no idea unless she consults. You ask the Minister of Finance. He said we have no fishing trawlers to fish in our rivers. But you can sign an agreement with Senegal and tell Senegal that you can fish in our rivers, we can fish in your rivers. When you don't have a single trawler to fish, even in your land. So who is benefiting? When you don't have a single trawler, fishing trawler, but you said I signed an agreement with Senegal, they can fish in our land, we can fish in their land, when you don't have even a single fishing trawler. So who is benefiting? Who is enjoying? Just telling us that I just allow Senegal to come and catch our fish and go. But there's no agreement that you sign. We are talking about that. The Chinese are exploiting, destroying our rivers. Nobody talks about it. Now you said AU. You are signing an agreement with the AU. When you are telling us that you have not even fishing trawlers, and when the minister was, how will you inspect those people, whether they are adhering to the agreement about the fish that they're gonna fish in our land? He said yes, he will use their own sea, since they don't have fishing trawlers, so they will use their own seas. They will have people that will be inside their sea to monitor. I can monitor when we are in the same sea, in the same fish. We will just build a friendship there. Before the end of the day, we are brothers and sisters. So I can catch any type of fish, or I can do any type of fish, and I can use any type of net, and I'll just bribe you in the face. I tell you that don't talk about it. Will you talk about it? If I have to inspect you, you don't know even which time should I come. I will just jump up one day and I say that I want to inspect what is going on. But if we say at the same boat, we are going together. Before 1 week, we are friends. We are families. Because the more you stay with somebody, the more you get in touch, the more you have the interaction, and the more you become friends. So does it make any sense? But this is the direction of our government. But it is time for us to take the ownership of the country and sit down and ask ourselves, why do we vote in 2016? We vote for a purpose. What was the purpose? We should all ask ourselves this question. And definitely we'll have an answer. And if you give us our answer, we look at the direction of the government. Whether the answer that it gives to us is the direction of the government or no. And if it is not, let us challenge the government. It is our government. They are there to serve us. They are our servants. They are not our demigods. They are just a mere servants. And they are there to serve a purpose. And if they fail to do that, we kick them out. This is the tax. But definitely, we are not asking, if we are leaving the government, then we just vote in for a change of an individual where we didn't vote for a change of system. In the sense that we want something positive. But if we all have to fold our hands together and look at the government to run the affairs of the country the way they like it, then which means that we just vote for somebody to remove a head from the State House and put another head there. And we leave the same system to go. But if it totally means that we vote for a total change, then let us take the ownership of the country. This is the only way forward. But failure to do this, we will keep on complaining. Since 1965, we have been complaining. I will keep on complaining. We'll keep on complaining. And our children will suffer. Because the debt burden is going up. It will just continue like this. When Jawara was living, we are $3 million in debt burden. Yahya Jammeh came, we were going to $49 billion. Barrow came today, we are $56 billion in debt. Within 2 years. excluding the donor conference that he went to attend. Because today the minister informed us clearly how much is the debt and how much is the grant and how much is the loan. But if you look at the whole thing, the loan is more than even the grant. So you add that to $56 billion that we are having now. Maybe we are going to $69 billion. When our debt burden is 130%, so maybe we are heading to 150%. And there will be a time the world will say, it's enough. Where are we heading to? What is our plan to sustain the economy? What is the plan to build the economy? Are we heading to that direction? Are we ready to speak to the truth to the power? Are we ready to occupy the street? Are we ready to sue the government to court? Are we ready to approach the National Assembly people and tell them that you are not representing us? Because the government just take us for ransom. Just look at the fishing deal. Yesterday, the minister went to the AU headquarters and signed an agreement there before even the bill before the National Assembly, when the bill was not tabled before the National Assembly. This is what happened because I watched the social media and I see the live video. He was signing an agreement with this AU ambassador. When the bill was not before the National Assembly members, whether it will be approved or not. But they feel like that whatever they want, that's what will transpire in the National Assembly. So they don't care whether it's come to the National Assembly or not. So they will go and do their signing and everything. And after they bring it to the National Assembly. So that's why yesterday when the bill was tabled before the National Assembly and it was said that it has to go to the Select Committee on Fisheries, you hear the speaker say that they have to be very hurried because they have already spoke to their partners and now they are waiting for the approval of the National Assembly. So that tells you that, automatically they're going to approve it because they have already given their voice out that, yes, we have already agreed on terms and conditions. So it's going to take it to the National Assembly and they will just approve it. The same thing implies to the AS cable. When the AS cable was, the loan was granted, $25 billion for the internet cable, they start digging the hole, the street, putting those cables when the bill was not before the National Assembly. That's why when it came to the National Assembly and it was rejected, there was a tension at the National Assembly which led to the Speaker and Khalifa having a problem. Because they have already made a commitment to those people that, yes, we're going to accept it when it was not before the National Assembly. So these are the things that are happening. This is the government we voted for. We all accuse that those former National Assembly members were rubber stamp. So are these National Assembly members too, are they trying to change the equation now? I'm not seeing that direction. So if they fail to do that, we are the people who elect them. Let us take the ownership of the country. And this new constitution, I'm telling the National Assembly member, let them put it there. You can recall your National Assembly member at any time when you feel that he's not representing you to go in for by-election. It should be stated in our new constitution. Even the president should be recalled. It should be in our new constitution. And I'm waiting any time when they come to the Combos for the consultation. These are going to be my stand. The recall of a president, the recall of a National Assembly member if they fail to serve their purpose, why they are elected. The citizen can recall the president even he served for 2 months or 3 months. When you feel like that he's not doing the purpose why he is elected, you can recall the National Assembly, the president, and we go in for by-election. We go in for a fresh election because he's not serving the purpose. That's the main purpose of the president. You are elected to serve the people, and if you see that you are not serving the people, or you are not serving the purpose why you are, or the agenda that you sell to the people, you are diverting the agenda. We should call you back. This should be in our constitution. And National Assembly should call him back, since they have go and change the Section 91D of the Constitution that your party leader cannot remove you from the National Assembly, so that they can be independent. Now you are independent. You are not defending the citizens. But you went and changed Section 91D so that even your party leader decided to sack you from the party, you will not lose your seat in the National Assembly. You will be an independent National Assembly. So now you are independent. Why can't you defend the people? But I hear some National Assembly members telling, yeah, I'm 100% loyal to my party. Why can't you be 100% loyal to the citizens? Why your party? So are you telling me that if you are 100% loyal to your party, then whatever comes to the National Assembly and if it has to do with your party, then you will support it, whether it is against the citizens' will? That's the language you are telling us. This is the issues we are confronted with. Gambia is not moving. What we have been encountering, the former regime, that's the same thing that is going on in this country. And unless we, the citizens, take the ownership of the country, we are not moving anywhere. And it is time for the civil societies, the citizens, to get up and speak through to the government. And tell them the truth, that we want a total change. We didn't just vote for an individual to be remove an individual. We vote for a purpose. And if they fail to serve that purpose, let us call them. Let's test our judicial system. Let's summon governments to court. Just look at sometimes I just get crazy. Because it is very clearly stated in Section 79 of our Constitution that government cannot go into any bilateral agreement without the approval of the National Assembly. It is very clearly stated there. But how many agreements have our government go into without consulting our National Assembly? You talk of the fishing deal. You talk of the AS cable. You talk of the bringing of Senegal militaries in our country without the approval of the National Assembly. And when the Constitution is clearly stated that even a peacekeeping mission, you cannot send a National Assembly member to a security force to a peacekeeping mission without the approval of the National Assembly. Bon, when did you hear that a bill was tabled before the National Assembly for militaries are going for a peacekeeping mission? Since Yahya Jammeh's time up to now, it's never happened. And these people are continuing the same trend. And these are the people who accuse Yahya Jammeh that he have no respect for the Constitution. But these are the same people sending our militaries for peacekeeping missions without the approval of the National Assembly, bringing in foreign soldiers in our country without the approval of the National Assembly. Why can't we, the citizens, sue the government of court for not adhering to the language of the Constitution? Let us test the Supreme Court. We know whether the Supreme Court is independent or not. It is a tax. When Rwanda want a change, it's the citizens who demanded for the change and they were ready for the change and they start to take the ownership of the country. And they start demanding from their government. That's why the Rwanda that we are all shouting is the Rwanda today. So unless we, the citizens, take the ownership of the country, we are not going anywhere. It is just going to be balabala. At the end of the day, the same system is going to run. And our children will suffer. It is not because of me. It's not because of you. But we are all fighting for the future of our children. But no. The government will do whatever they like. Few individuals will go and sit and decide on behalf of 1.9 million people. And they bring it before you and say, this is your document. And you take it. For how many years? And we claim that we are the owners of the country. Yes, we are the citizens of this country. When you cannot even change anything in your country, your voice is useless when it comes to decision making of the country. Why can't we change the equation? They will not do it for us because it favors them. But we have to demand. And it is time for us to do that demand. Let's demand from our governments that this is how we want our country to move. And you use the power of a citizens. But unless we don't do that, we will just be repeating the same thing. So without much more time, I thank you all for your kind attention. This is the issue I feel like I have to share with you people because it is necessary. But I'm anticipating tomorrow to wait and see whether the National Assembly members will approve this $1.2 billion that is tabled before them for an additional and supplementary budget for 2018. And if that happens, definitely we will see a different Gambia. I think it is time for us to show the executive that the coin has to change. So this is the issue. I decided to come and talk about it. And the salary increasement, it has no benefit on the poor people, those from grade 1 up to grade 5, this salary increasement that they have made, it has no benefit on the poor people. Somebody earning $1,600, if this start at 50% they are claiming, you are just only $300 is added to your salary, and $300 to 1,600, you are just earning $1,900. Saddam is $1,800. The most least expensive rice in this country is $1,400. Remove $1,400 from $1,900, you are left with $300. $300 is 1 day living, 1 day fish money. What are you left with? If you are renting, what are you gonna pay? But you can move the president from $170,000 to $255,000. When the president doesn't pay any bills, the president, even his clothes, we the citizen buy it. But a layman, a grade 1 or a grade 2 or a grade 4 will pay his own transport, will pay his own house rent, he will pay everything for himself. But a president who will pay everything for him, even his medical bill, we pay it. Why will he increase his salary? If I was a president today, which I don't wish to be, I would say I don't need it. Because I have everything. But the president is ready to move from $170,000 to $255,000. And create 2 offices because you feel like KMSA is my supporter and I want to create office for KMSA. So let me just appoint him. Then you create an office and said, special advisor to the president, senior advisor, deputy senior advisor, advisor to the president. Do we need that? Why do we even need deputies? It is not recognized by the Constitution. Go and look at it, whether you have deputies in our Constitution. But we keep on creating these offices for political appointment. Deputy permanent secretary, deputy minister. You have permanent secretary. Why do you need deputy permanent secretaries? But it continues like this. Why is the change? Why do we change? Let us all ask ourselves. On the 1st of December, when you go to the ballot box, what did you vote for? We should ask this for ourselves. Why do I vote? You don't just go and put your tokens, your ballot tokens in the box rack and you just move. You vote for a purpose. What is that purpose? Is the government serving that purpose? This is the question we should ask. But no. We are not asking that. We just accept anything that comes to us. And we just go and start complaining. We should stop now the complaint and take an action. That is the time the government will take us serious. That's the only way. You look at even Barrow, who is cooking for him? We pay for him. The chef, securities, secretaries, everything. But look at the budget itself. Only few individuals, not less than even 0.1%, has the access to the national budget. To know. They just make it a book and just share it within the National Assembly members. Period. And the ministry. Period. The ordinary citizens who you are collecting $12 billion from his on tax, he didn't know the document. He never saw the document. Where is the representation? Why can't you make it a document and create a website and put it in the website? Let everybody see it. But no, because they want to keep us sleeping. They don't want us to know. So they will make it a bulk of a book of 190 pages when you could have made it in a soft copy and distribute it everywhere. Everybody has access to it. But I'm requesting for the soft copy for almost how many weeks? I could not have it. So that I can share with other people. Those people can share with other people. But they want to keep the citizens asleep. They don't want us to have an access to our national documents. To know what they are deciding on our behalf. These documents should be circulated countrywide. Send it to all the media radio stations, all the media houses. Let them debate it for 4 months, 5 months. In all languages. Invite farmers. Invite every association. But no. Look at the furnitures that they have approved for these people. Almost they are requesting for almost $2 million or $1.7 billion for only furnitures. Why can't you empower GTTI They can do it. Just they need the equipments. Why can't we empower GTTI to make those furnitures? But no, you prefer buying it from Dubai, buying it from the Lebanese here. When they are ready, they just send the money outside. Where is the direction of the government? What is the purpose of GTTI? Why do you need GTTI if you cannot give them the service? The fittings, the budget for the fittings, GTTI can manufacture those things. Are the government empowering them? No. But you prefer to go and order a fittings from Dubai, China, Hong Kong, when you have an institution that can do those things. The local carpenters can do it. Are you doing that? But you prefer to give it to these other people. You leave GTTI like that. And there was a study conducted on GTTI, and we found out that GTTI can make any of these wooden materials in this country. They can even make nails that we are making. But all what they need is machines. They can make fittings. They can make door locks, watering cans. But Ministry of Agriculture, ask them where they are importing their watering cans and their garden forks. The furnitures in all the offices, where did they come from? Why not empowering GTTI? But people who go to school and they're educated, they acquire the skills and they go back to the street and sit down because the government is not empowering them. Government is not creating the enable environment for them. Government is not supporting them. But go and look at our budget, how much is been allocated for furnitures. When we could have made the furnitures here and save that money into our account. Then today we will not be talking about the budget deficit. You need another $1.2 billion to complete 2018. But are we making savings? No. Any ministry you approve a budget, he's in haste to finish his budget. You never heard of that. We have approved this ministry, this budget, but he have used less than the money. Now this is what we have recovered. Look at our national budget. It doesn't come with any explanation remarks. They just tell you that Ministry of Office of the President, $700 million. For what? It doesn't explain anything. And every budget should come with an explanatory remark to tell you that we are doing this for this. And this is the purpose. Why the salary of the president? This is why we are paying president this one. This is why we are paying this. It has to come with an explanation. But since independent up to now, go to other countries. Every budget must come with an explanatory remark to explain each department, each budget, each butut, how much it's going. But Gambia, they will just give you a big book like this. Period. No explanation. Why you allocate this for the president's office? Why you allocate this for the Ministry of Finance? What do he want? Why he need this? It doesn't come with any explanation. And we just accept it and go. We call ourselves sovereign citizens. We said we own the country. I think we have to change the direction. But this is not what we are doing. Gambia here, instead of bottom approach, they take it top. The decision is from the top. Instead of the grassroots, engage them. No, they don't care about us. They just see us as a subject. So they can use us and do anything. So it is a tax. It is a tax for us to engage our people. But this is what they are not doing. This is not the direction they are thinking of. So it is time for us to save the future of this country. And it cannot happen unless we take the ownership of the country. We start demanding with force. So this is what I have for you people, and I thank you for your time. I appreciate you people, and we will keep on informing you people any information that we feel like has to be shared. We will definitely do that, since we are opportunity with the opportunity to know the day-to-day activities of our country, and we feel it that it's not that you are not interested, but because of the time frame and maybe the situation you are, you could not get. But we will make sure that definitely we create we will inform you people whatever we have information that we feel is necessary to share with you people. And it's just sympathetic. Every year, from independent up to now, every year a budget must come. Furniture. The old furnitures, nobody's asking what happens to the old furnitures. This is what I want to know. But who is asking what happens to the old furnitures? Nobody's asking. So I thank you all for your time, and I appreciate you people. Till we meet again. Tomorrow is the big day, whether the National Assembly members will approve another additional budget for 2018, $1.2 billion to be used, because the ministry said they have exhausted the 2018 budget and they need $1.2 billion to accomplish 2018. We shall see. Tomorrow will be the D-Day, and I will be at the National Assembly to give you the live coverage of the whole proceedings. You can follow me there. And I thank you very much for your time. I appreciate, respect you all. Thank you.